I want to know more about the potential changes to multiplayer, but they're probably not going to talk about that, are they?
Well, let's talk about some multiplayer.
Sounds good.
So we have 20 total maps in the game.
We do.
16 of them that are working with core, and they're across all locations, and they're Western Front, Eastern Front, North Africa, as well as the Pacific.
And then the 4 maps that comprise Champion Hill, which is Airstrip, Market, Courtyard, and Train Yard.
I do love how...
Wait, those don't count as maps, what?
Fresh approach to World War II. We really, really wanted this time to focus on a...
They're counting each area of Champions Hill as its own map?
And when you think about the player experience too, let's say you finish a match on Gavutu and you just came from the Pacific Theater, and then the next map that loads up is Desert Siege, and now you're in North Africa. So you're just hopping all over the globe.
So we
well,
just
yeah, that's the
Alpha.
point.
That was the first technical test of Vanguard. And starting today, you can preload for the beta, which has Champion Hill that everybody can now experience, as well as 4 new maps.
Yeah,
they keep pushing Champion Hill, like people are actually excited about it.
Red Star,
Ooh.
Hotel Royale, Gavutu, and Eagle's Nest.
I cannot wait to see all of those players in there.
And then we also have combat pacing.
Oh, here we go.
Experience this huge range from tactical combat all the way up to blitz combat.
Don't call it tactical. Oh my god. Tactical combat shows a dude leaning. I hate it so much.
Experience between when you're playing with blitz and tactical as well, because when you're playing blitz, it's just no holds barred. You're going. Tactical is a lower player count. So
hey, that is the Eatra burst.
The time to engagement in there.
I think Modern Warfare 2 Ghost mentioned that was going to be coming back.
You're able to play with it in the filter system. So within quick match play,
now why?
Be like, oh, I prefer tactical.
I'm going to be doing blitz. I remember when we were just first talking about it, the idea of making every map into shipment. I love that.
No.
But having a map the size of Red Star,
so every single playlist is going to have 3 different categories for that one playlist? That's obscene.
Is what's really fun, because it's...
How many people do they think are going to be playing?
It's so much fun to just go in and you're not even worried when you're getting killed, because you just get killed and respawn and kill someone else constantly. It's amazing.
We also have Patrol coming in as well. It's a new mode for Vanguard.
Patrol sounds kind of fun. Really fun. It's hardpoint that moves. The hardpoint constantly moves around the map.
I cannot wait.
It's essentially the moving hardpoint, moving around the map on this track. You're going and you're taking it, and as people play it more and more and discover new strategies around it, like there's play the patrol point, hold it down for your team.
That map looks like Contraband from Black Ops 4, doesn't it?
So if you're truly, playing as a team, you're going to have.
Doesn't that look like Contraband?
Control point in front of it, really locking down those lanes. That mode is bringing so much more than we've ever had, and you're also exploring the entire map. Playing with other players in these maps, being able to go into, clans. They're coming into the game. They're a tier 1 feature. You can pair up with your buddies and your friends.
What's a tier 1 feature? What's it even mean?
Because it does make all of your experiences on those maps and modes just so much better.
Well, hopefully there's actually good clan rewards, more so than what we saw in Cold War.
You would be if everybody was coordinated, taking the patrol point at the same time.
Yeah, and you actually progress with your clan. Like, that's a new thing that we have in the game. It's pretty exciting.
Like, clan stuff is fun. Completing challenges with your group of friends and getting rewards for it's fun.
And be on progression.
And you can be.
But that's if they actually do that.
Cross-gen as well.
That's right.
So we have a huge commitment to our players around cross-gen, cross-platform play, where you can go and team up with really anybody who has the game.
It's exciting for me because now I can finally play with my cousin in Toronto who's a PC player, and I'm going to play on my PS4 at home.
What do you mean finally? It's been a thing for like 3 years.
It really widens the scope of the social experience.
And no, you're not going to be able to play with your friend from Toronto if you're much worse or much better than him because of skill-based matchmaking.
We're so excited to have Call of Duty Vanguard launch. The team has done a phenomenal job. I can't thank them enough for all of the effort they've put in. The most content day one. It's gonna be great.
Is that a satchel bag? Okay, that's kind of funny.
We're here to talk about gameplay. So this is reactive environments, movement and footsteps, create a class, weapons.
Of all the work they put into the backgrounds for these interviews and stuff.
And when we were thinking about it as a team, that feeling of pulling the trigger has to be awesome. And you need to be able to use it then for gameplay as well. It's all about that player creativity.
When you first shoot something and it reacts to it, now you start becoming a little more creative about what you want to do with that.
Tactical sprint is in the game. We have it coming back, and you can just sprint through those walls as well.
We tried to give multiple options.
I heard you guys didn't like doors, so we added doors and walls.
That's right. When you're taking cover behind something,
Oh my
they can
goodness.
also flush you out. You start
Camping,
seeing
just
yourself
call it-
just
call it what it
start
is.
getting Shredded.
You can mount on top of these surfaces as well.
I love sliding into cover. And
These are not
mounting on the
features. You
side,
can-
mounting on the top.
You can
blind firing
mount,
over the
you
top.
can lean.
Blind fire. Like, let's just talk about that for a second, because blind fire is an all new addition to Vanguard. It's kind of the hip fire of mount. We actually have it set up
Tier
where
1 features,
you
yep.
ADS and go into mount. So when you're near something, you're going to go into mount every time you do that. But if you're in cover behind it, your gun's going to come up, and now you're actually in this state where you know you can blind fire over it. You get a little.
These are not
over just
features.
the
Oh
cover
my!
that you're on.
Why are they promoting
And you're
these
now
like
able
they're
to move back
features?
and forth across that fire. You get the hip fire
Stop!
spread, and then once you see somebody coming, you can actually go right back into mount. And
They're so
transition
excited about
between the
this.
two.
They've been talking
it's
about
so
leaning,
fluid.
mounting, and blind
It feels
firing for like a minute
it was
now.
Always supposed to be there.
Destructible environments are throughout the game. It's on every map, and it just changes the map over time.
That's right. Like the state that the map starts at is going to look different than the state that it ends at.
Introducing new
Everything
features such
really
as
changes,
crouch
especially
and
game modes
prone.
where you have Dom and
Ooh,
hardpoint.
MG42.
And even with this idea of combat pacing around those structures, like we have
I do really like the World War
pacing
II
where now
weaponry.
Destruction just matters so much more when there's a lower player count and it's so much more intimate. And then you go into something like Blitz, which is just crazy amounts of players in there, and those maps completely change based on how that combat pacing is flowing throughout every playlist that you're going into and those modes.
I just wonder how it's going to work if every mode's got 3 different categories for the mode. You have your 6v6, your 10v10, and your like 14v14 or whatever.
Destructive environments. And so you're able to now go caliber up or caliber down within each weapon.
The heavier the caliber, the more it's going to change the look of the walls.
It's not just visual either. Increasing the caliber does increase the damage the bullet does. So we're kind of moving away from this concept of protecting rate of fire and damage. We're letting the players control it.
We have created a class in the game, and we're building on what was done in Modern Warfare 2019.
Primary weapon, secondary weapon, 3 perks, lethals, and
Don't say it.
tacticals.
Don't say
It's
it.
about choices
Don't-
and about the
He didn't
player
mention
having
field
choices.
upgrade, but we know field
Within
upgrades are
creative
there.
class, there's so much going on in there. We have the gunsmith system coming back. We have caliber system, ammo types, 10 attachments as well that you can put on the gun.
I mean, that all sounds fine,
The
actually. I'm
coolest
not
thing about 10 attachments
upset about
is
any of
that
that.
We're able to make it so that some of the attachments are much stronger than the other attachments. So you have a lot more options, kind of taking our 30-ish guns and bringing it all the way up to over 100 because you can tailor them to whatever you want them to be.
Wait, there's only going to be 30-ish
And
guns
they're
in the
still
game?
familiar
What?
with the perks, the 3 perk slots.
No.
And you can actually modify
Did you guys hear
those
that?
and get some modifications around some of the other core gameplay pieces. And with these weapons and with this caliber
30-ish
system,
guns?
there's so
That's
much
it?
in there to be able to use. We have certain perks that are dedicated to it.
At launch, it
You
doesn't
might
matter at
choose
launch.
An LMG
That's obscenely
and then
low.
Try to combine perks for close range to make it so much more like an SMG, but with that power and the ammo size that the LMGs are bringing. Or you might go the completely other way. Lean into our new mounted movement system, so you can slide around the cover. You might equip it with piercing vision as one of your perks, your perk 2. That allows you to actually highlight people through walls that you've suppressed. Suppression is a new mechanic that slows people down.
Oh, goodness.
And with that, like that is going to
I'm
give
not
us
actually all
the
that
most
opposed to suppression in COD. It's just,
ever
it's
had in
weird.
Call of
I
Duty.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
like
trying a lot of
change.
risky things, allowing players to tune things like damage and rate of fire.
Legal
We're
wall
committed
hacks.
to
People are
figuring
gonna keep
out
cheating in
the
their games, so we just
values
add it to the
there,
game.
Making a balanced game.
We really want to push the envelope, and we really want to bring players a version of Call of Duty, a flavor of it that they haven't tried before.
It is truly the most immersive Call of Duty experience I've ever played. And we're in this together. We're in it with the community. We're there getting feedback from them on all of these elements. And we want to make it the best for everyone.
Art direction. Oof.
On this project, I feel like the collaboration between creative direction, design,
Hold on,
and
really
art,
quick, guys.
There's a lot more cohesion, and so we've grown together in such a way where we can have these great conversations.
It's about stepping out of our comfort zone a little bit.
I can maybe find this for you.
On the last project, we took on the brotherhood of the soldiers. It was a very traditional look at it. This game in Vanguard, it's a fresh look. We wanted something fresh, and we wanted to get into that anti-hero.
This time around, we kind of dug deeper and we tried to understand what the soldiers were going through. And it changes the way that they walk, it changes the way that they talk, even the way they would dress and how they would stand. It had to be somebody that was real and somebody that we felt that, like, I want to be that person.
All right, so you guys were talking about, they're talking about 30-ish weapons at launch.
I think that
this is what we have.
right? Like,
Black Ops 1 had 42 weapons at launch with 14 maps. Black Ops 2 had 38 weapons and 14 maps at launch. Black Ops 3 had 31 with 13. Then Cold War had 29 weapons at launch with only 8 maps, 10 if you counted Fireteam. So progressively, every year, things get worse and worse. You get less guns and less maps as the franchise gets older and the games supposedly get larger. Now, how does that make sense? Well, I can tell you how it makes sense. It's actually pretty simple.
The character team has done a lot of great work to
That's how it makes sense.
You know, all the materials and things like that. I mean, they dress the mannequin as the exact character, they scan it there, and then they virtualize the authentic gearing.
The same thing happens within the maps as well.
Yeah.
And so we even have some maps that are actual spaces in the world.
Okay, I do like to look at the Stalingrad map quite a bit.
We typically
I can't get over it. That map looks so much like the Black Ops 4 map.
Ooh. Try to figure out how we can get photogrammetry assets to match.
This is cool looking. I like this.
The other way around on this one. And that would really capture the spatial relationships of the buildings and the road and the hedges.
You know, it feels like a real place. It also helps with the tone because when something feels more realistic, you take it more seriously.
Yeah.
You know, and when you want to be immersed, you don't want to be pulled out by something that feels artificial.
Oh my god. Okay, you're going to release anime skins for this game. You know you
There's
are.
so many other things that we've done to this engine. Like, we've done a lot with foliage that's in our Pacific maps.
Just speaking of simple things like foliage, the way that the light hits the leaves and then like bleeds and then shines through makes it feel more realistic.
We've been using some new software techniques to generate simulations for really windy situations where the palm trees are colliding with each other, and it
Dude, that's
really
straight up
makes
contraband.
the map have this
I dig it.
energy to it.
All of those atmospherics, like the Battle of Berlin, Gavutu, like these maps have so much weather going on, and it's been exceptional to see it in the game.
But do they have giant tornadoes that come in halfway through?
Neo-epic
That's the real
lenses
question
is
here.
Something we're looking at game-wide. We want to add that new, fresh, badass.
Hey,
on
thank you
top
very
of
much,
the epic
dude.
Setting.
And that's something that you developed.
Yeah, with the art team, we talked about what's the thing that's going to set us apart from the previous game that we made together. And so we talked a lot about the contemporary lens. And that's where the whole Neo
The
aspect
stream's
comes.
popping. It's been fun.
Neo-noir, it's a new, evolved version of film noir movies. So
I don't think
Epic
anyone
is
cares
its
about the
own
art
type of
aspect of this
movie.
game, though.
We wanted to take
You see it looks
cues
like
from
Cove?
the great epics of
Ooh.
the past and add a Neo.
Code from Black Ops 2?
to it.
Yeah.
A lot of that has to do with composition of the landscape, the types of environments that
Ooh.
we pick to play in, the palette, the color. A lot of
No, that's not Castle, guys. That's definitely not
Art team's done
Castle.
an amazing job.
Wait, no, that could have been. That could have been.
As a whole,
I'd have to go back and look at it.
making this look great.
With all the content that we had to do.
That could have been the
we needed
courtyard
The rendering, we needed engineering.
at the top
we
of Castle,
needed
maybe.
The effects, the lighting, the whole team. We needed studio in Melbourne to get it looking super awesome in a way that we can deliver the best COD game we can do.
There's the bazooka, or the Panzerschreck or whatever.
We have a cast of characters. Those characters also come over into multiplayer.
We took the
People are saying this is the best COD beta that they've played. I mean, I guess we'll see.
Wild, exaggerated, crazy world of MP. We have 12 operators at launch, 6 in the beta, all from different walks of life.
12 at launch,
What is
okay.
Bringing those characters together in campaign.
Captain Butcher, who's a returning character from Call of Duty World War II, he's back. He's got a much larger role now. We needed a character when we went to the Special Forces, the connective tissue, who like was the guy who went around and found all these people to give birth to this new type.
Can we play as Butcher?
He puts them together and he sends them into these incredibly dangerous situations.
Sometimes you need a job done. That's when you call the professionals.
So these special operation task forces that we have, the SOTFs, what are these?
That's the whole notion of multiplayer, is that this is Butcher forming these teams. You know, they do feel like ragtag people pulled from all over the world to form these awesome squads of elite soldiers.
So when you unlock one of these operators, you get that moment to learn more about their backstory. Melinda, do you have a favorite one of those?
I do. My favorite is for Solange, who is Dutch Aruban, and she was plucked from her everyday life and put into the war, and she did strategy. And I think what's interesting is with our characters, we also not only touch on people who fought on the front lines, we touch on people that fought at home or were taken and not primed.
I don't think anyone cares about the operators. I'm just going to say it.
And then the war happened and everything changed.
You can't change your past, but you can.
You guys know how much people care about the story in multiplayer,
Most
right?
of the time in multiplayer, you're selecting the character, you're in the game, you're in the action, running around.
We have a
The war at home? What's that? Factory simulator? We get to make planes. Hell yeah, dude.
Sinister, actually, and you get
We get to all go work in the factory.
look into her character. It almost makes you like afraid of her.
It's about immersion, about
They're
putting
soulless
players in
anyway.
there.
I mean, yeah.
And these stories are just fantastic.
They talk. Yeah, we want to hear about the actual multiplayer. They're like, let's talk about the art style and the characters and our diversity. It's like, how about you talk about Dead Silence? Maybe that 3-second respawn delay.
A part in the war, whether on the home fronts or on the battlefield.
We created so much lore around them and their backstory and who they were as people, and also we wanted them to feel like distinct pieces on their own.
As you're randomly assigned an operator when you start the game, you can now use that operator as much as you want. And then they have operator progression, which is a brand new thing where as you're leveling that operator, you're getting cosmetic rewards. They have charms that are based on their backstory.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Animations that we use in the game for finishing moves and everything else that really immerse you in that experience.
I take it back. That's all I wanted to hear. So we get to level up the operators, and for doing so, you get calling cards and finishing moves and stuff like that for them.
Decision, but it's one.
It's like leveling up the characters back in Black Ops 3 almost.
Players to be able to customize their
there you go. That's something good.
Once we made that call, it was really important to then really dig deep into find all those different characters, because it was a global war and people were fighting their own battles in their own countries.
I do think, though, there's a lot of opportunities for people to learn about new perspectives.
I doubt there's going to be gold armor, though. Yeah.
Things that happened during that time period.
So a lot of diversity in our characters, not just in their race, but in their appearance, their gender, and all of that is explored more in MP.
They're all fictional characters grounded in World War II, but they are based on real people and real groups that did fight in the war. Another thing
is that Nia Jax?
Is the character you are playing as. We don't want them to talk too much to sort of allow the player to live the fantasy. So in multiplayer, we get to actually make them talk, and you can hear them talk more.
Didn't think I'd come back, kid.
Holy shit! I think that's Castle.
You had that coming.
It's multiplayer.
Did you guys see that?
But there's so much history there. There's so much depth and richness, and you've been able to.
I think that was Castle.
Together into this story that is quite amazing.
It's been 13 years. Oh, here we go. Everyone shush. This is what we're after.
The UI UX director at Dinox, and today I'm here representing Dinox, the lead PC.
Why is English never the first language that people that describe PC stuff to us?
Excited to bring you Call of Duty Vanguard. Dinox has put together a dedicated and passionate team to push the quality of the PC version each and every year. We want the game to be tailored for our PC community by supporting both the latest hardware technology and also optimizing.
That looks so much like Contraband. I'm gonna keep saying it.
With Call of Duty Vanguard, you will get the greatest features and improvements that we have built over the years, such as the uncapped frame rate, the ultra-wide and the multi-monitor support, and also a lot of settings to fully customize your experience throughout the game.
Well, so you can adjust it over and over until the game eventually finally runs on your system.
Even more accessible. We added option to reduce motion sickness, improve text readability, and we even added adaptive ease of use settings to fit your gameplay style.
You can turn motion sickness off?
We've also done a ton of work to improve input latency. By using a high-speed camera combined with an Arduino board and an NVIDIA LDAT, it's a device that measures input to photon latency. We were able to identify opportunities to improve reaction time in terms of milliseconds. We have also reworked our auto-detect features. As you may know, we optimize all the graphics settings based on your hardware. But this time,
Yeah,
you
that
get
never
to
works.
choose if you prefer to have the awesome visual experience.
You just have to go
working
through and
from
turn
the
things
highest
on and off
level.
till eventually the game runs fine
Lastly,
without
while waiting
dropping
for your
frames.
friends to jump into your party or during a round transition, we added a setting that reduces the brightness of your other monitors to allow multitasking without missing any of the action. We have so much more to talk about in the upcoming
Was that the
months,
Volkstrom
and we
Gewehr?
can't wait for you to experience Call of Duty Vanguard on Battle.net. Now, I'll pass it to Raven to give you the latest intel on what's coming to Warzone this year.
I'm Amos Hodge, Associate Creative Director at Raven
Hey,
Software.
what?
With
Amos!
the launch of Vanguard, we want to ensure
Long
that the
time no
speed and
see!
of the game extends beyond the multiplayer experience and into Call of Duty Warzone.
That was our boy back during Modern
Announced
Warfare
that there's a
Remastered.
brand new Warzone map coming this year, shortly after the launch of Vanguard, and we are going to the Pacific, featuring an entirely new play space, complete with
Ooh.
all new points of interest. Players will get to traverse the lush landscapes of the island and make their way through a variety of extremely cool locations while battling it out alongside friends and foes. Our goal
Damn, I'm
is
about to play
create a
Warzone.
fresh, new experience for Call of Duty players by breaking out of the war-torn world of Verdansk.
Yeah,
to
yes,
create an
never
atmosphere
again.
That is vibrant, alive, that is really opens the doors to how we can craft the narratives and events.
Vibrant, huh?
As
You mean
visuals
not
and
brown and
technology,
gray?
Warzone Pacific will share the same tech and engine as Call of Duty Vanguard. This allows for seamless weapon integration and play balance. Fully optimized crossplay, cross-progression, and cross-gen support will be enabled.
Okay,
you can
same
play
as
with your
always.
friends across different platforms and generations of consoles. But most importantly, we want to ensure that Warzone Pacific will be the best experience it can be. We will be launching with a multifaceted new anti-cheat system that will be rolled out when the new experience goes live later this year. We're putting it through the final paces and testing, and are excited to have it ready day one when the new Warzone experience releases. Our teams have worked hard on this and much more, and will continue to do so. We know how much it means to everyone. We will be continuing to offer a massive calendar of free post-launch content featuring new modes, playlists, limited time events, and seasonal events, as well as community celebrations and much more.
Okay,
We look
same as
forward to
always,
playing
but the
with
map
all of
looks
you
cool.
later this year when the Pacific officially comes online.
It's literally called the Pacific. I like that.
We sincerely appreciate you watching, but there's so much more for our fans to experience from the beta through launch. The beta will be running over the next 2 weekends, and you can preload on PlayStation starting today. For your first look at live gameplay from Call of Duty Vanguard Core Multiplayer, tune in now to one of your favorite creators.